Hey guys, before we get into this video, I edited it to add this little announcement. I will be having open heart surgery on the 17th, and I'm also having a procedure on the 16th where I'll have to be put to sleep. So for the next few weeks, I am going to have several videos that will come out that are already scheduled. And I did that because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be down. But if you are a regular to my channel, then you know that I always answer your comments. So if I go MIA for a little while, please just remember me in your prayers. I will be healing and everything's going to be fine. God's got me in his hands one way or another, so I'm not even worried about that. But I know this is a little premature, but I just wanted to let you know for the next few videos I'm going to be making this announcement, so you guys know that I'm not just ignoring your comments, and I will definitely be back. But do come back. I have my regular Monday videos, and I also have a few challenges that are scattered here and there between the next few weeks. So let's get right on into what you came for.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to Series 1 of Vintage Lavender Farmhouse. Now, I am going to be completely remodeling my bathroom in this gorgeous vintage lavender farmhouse feel. I got the idea when I just started coming up with all of these lavender crafts after I did one. Once I'd done the one, I fell in love with it and decided to just completely redo my whole bathroom. So this is going to be DIY number one, these gorgeous, gorgeous candlesticks. Now, I got these candlesticks from the Goodwill, and when I bought them, they were this brown color. Super duper heavy, very sturdy. I ended up paying $2.99 for both of these. Look at the detail on these candlesticks. They are so beautiful. Now, the little orange sticker says $2.99, but it was half off day, and your girl is old, so I ended up getting it, well, half off senior day. Let me clarify that. I ended up getting it for $2.99 for both of them. Now, the other little sticker that I pointed out, the white one, was $19.99. So those are normally $40 worth of candlesticks that I ended up getting for a measly $3. So as you see, I took my ivory chalk paint from Waverly and I just gave them a good coat of the chalk paint. Now, I was not real interested in making it a really, really heavy coat because I knew I was going to be going in and distressing them as soon as this paint dried. So I took this little sponge sanding block that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I just started going over the candlesticks, and everywhere that it had something sort of sticking up, oh my goodness, it just gave it the most beautiful distressing that I have ever done. And I was so proud of the way these turned out. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can stage these, but the first one that I want to show you is where I took these little fish bowls from the Dollar Tree. I knew that I wanted glass votives on the top of these. So I went to the Dollar Tree to look around, and when I saw the little fish bowl here, I thought that would be absolutely perfect. Now, there are two sizes of these fish bowls. There's a smaller one and the larger one, and this is the larger of the two. So I took my Gorilla Glue, which is exactly like the E6000, and some hot glue, and put them on there, and they are not going anywhere. Then I took the lighter and the darker lavender and one of these little blocks that you can get from the Dollar Tree in the floral section, and it comes with 4 in the pack, but I only needed 1, and I just took my little Cricut tool and I just cut it right in half, and it cuts like butter. It was so easy. So once I got that down in there, I used the moss to kind of disguise it, and that is the reindeer moss. So I did not glue this down because I was going to put a candle in it eventually, but I did want to show you how with this particular glass bowl you could do even flowers if you wanted to. So that's my little shears that I got from the garden section. of the Dollar Tree, and they work perfect for cutting these little lavenders apart, or any pick that you can get from the Dollar Tree, really, or anywhere else, Walmart or wherever you get your picks from. So I went through and I cut all my picks up and got them ready, and then I just started like sticking them down in there. Now, I'm not a florist, I've said that before, so I just kind of started sticking them down in there until it looked like I wanted it to look. And this is how it turned out, and I just thought they were so cute with the little flowers in them like that. Now, that's not how I ended up keeping them, but I did want to show you that. And this is DIY number 2. This is what made me fall in love with this entire lavender vintage theme. So I started out with these little pictures that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Now, you'll see me doing 3 of them, but I'm only going to use 2 for this one, and then I'll use the 3rd one on the next one. So I went ahead and took the tops off of them, and then just used that same ivory chalk paint that you can get from Waverly. That will be the theme for this whole lavender series. So I just gave them a couple of good coats until they, were covered really good. And once I got that done, I took my little printables that I printed. I just Googled vintage lavender free printables and came up with these 2 pictures that I absolutely fell in love with. Now, let me show you how I added them to this frame. All I did was printed them on regular printer paper. So nothing special, nothing fancy. Once you get them printed, I took some water and some coffee, and I just went around the edge of it and wet it. Now, when you go around the edge and wet it, and then you go back, it just makes it a lot easier to tear. And you just want to lightly tear around the edge. And once you get it torn around the edge, you take your coffee and open it up and wet your fingers. Make sure your fingers are good and wet. Now, this is messy. I'm not going to lie. This is messy. So for the next few weeks while I'm making my things to redo my bathroom, I'm going to smell like coffee everywhere I go. And I don't even drink coffee, but man, did it smell good. So you take that coffee and you just want to rub it around everywhere where it's wet, and it leaves a stain. But it's the most gorgeous vintage stain. I couldn't get it with my Waverly wax. I couldn't get it with any other distressing idea that I had, but the coffee worked. And I saw somebody else on YouTube doing this, and I wish to God I could remember her name so I could give her credit, but I don't remember it. If I do remember it, or when I do remember it, I will definitely put her link down in the comment section below, along with her video that I saw her doing with this with. She was brand new. She came across my suggestions, and I just cannot remember her name. It had something to do with Green Acres or something like that. So I'm going to go back after I finish this video and find her, and I will link her channel and her video down in the bottom so you can see where I got this idea from. Because Lord knows she needs the credit for this, because this changed my life. So I went ahead and took that coffee, wet my fingers, and just went all over the little frames that I painted. And you will see that same theme throughout the next, several videos, like I said. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just rush through this next one because you don't need to see it in, regular time like you did with the first one, because it's the same exact motion that I did. But once I got that done, I just went in with the same little lavender picks that once again will be the theme. I used some twine. I used this gorgeous lace ribbon, and I was going to use a pearl on those, but I ended up changing my mind. So I went back in and gave it a really good coat of Mod Podge on the top to give it a seal and to make sure that stayed in place and would never come off. So again, like I said, I took the lavender pick and I made myself a little mini swag for the top of each picture. And I did that by just taking a couple of the lavender picks. I made a bow with that real pretty lace ribbon. And then I made also just a small little finger bow, if you will, or a shoelace bow, maybe, if you, I don't know what you call it, with just a twine. And that was all I did to it. Once I did that and got it all glued down, I was done. And I just fell in love with these two pictures. And when I tell you fell in love, it caused a whole lavender storm in my house. And of course, my husband was like, we just finished remodeling the kitchen. Now you want to do the bathroom? But yes, I mean, look at it. It's so pretty. Like, who wouldn't want a whole room done in this? I know I do. So, as usual, he pretty much gives me whatever I want because he is the most amazing man that's ever walked the face of the earth. So now he'll be painting my bathroom really, really soon. Poor guy. So after I got that done, as you see, I just wrapped twine around the bottom of it 3 times, and that was it. It was done. And I absolutely fell in love. I'm lying. I wasn't done. I was scared that they weren't going to stand straight up, so I took some of these tumbling tower blocks and put a couple of them on the back side, and that way I was assured that they would stand up for me, because I knew I wasn't going to hang them, especially since I got the one upside down, if you saw my little note a second ago. But I got the tumbling tower blocks put on there, and then I was done. And this is how they turned out. So make sure you let me know down in the comments below what you think about these, and if you love them as much as I do. Now, it's okay if you don't like them like I like them, because everybody's taste is different, but I love them. So I'm telling you, I can't say enough about it, because I am tickled that Brenda, was able to do something like this. So make sure you leave me a comment down below. Leave me a big thumbs up for sure. And now we're going to get into DIY number 3, this gorgeous tag.
So in order to make this tag, I started out with these little Easter tags. Now you'll see me preparing 2 tags, but I'm only going to use one in this video, and then I'll use the other one in the next video, the same as I just did with the 3 that I did prior. It was just easier for me to do it that way. So I took these tags and I did the same exact thing. I pulled that paper off the front and cleaned it up, and for me it just was easier that way. And once I got the tops of them cleaned up that quick, wasn't that easy? I went in with that same ivory chalk paint and just gave them 2 really good coats. Now once I got them all painted and they got good and dry, I did the same thing to them, or to this, that I did to the other 2. So I'm not really going to slow this down, because I don't want to, other than to show you this real pretty picture here that I picked out. I don't want you to just, feel like I've wasted a bunch of your time by showing you the same stuff with the same steps over and over and over. So I'm going to speed through this a little bit. But again, if you rush through the first part, and I'm guilty of doing that too, so don't feel bad. I took the tip ends of my fingers and wet them and went around the edge of that paper, and then I dunked them down in coffee grains and then just distressed everything. And once I got that done to my liking, I made another little mini swag, pretty much to match the one that I did on the other 2 pictures. I did use an actual little twine finger bow on this, and I added a little pearl to the top of it. So it was a little bit different. But I love the way it looked on the other 2, and I just wanted to kind of bring it all together. And you will see me doing that same thing with the rest of the pictures that I'm going to be making for the bathroom. Now, I've only made a couple, so I did use the same theme. But anyway, I got it all put together, and then I added the little bit of twine wrapped around the bottom. And other than the hanger that I used, now I did use the lace that I used for my bow to make my hanger, and I thought it was just so cute. It made it a little more Victorian-like, in my opinion. But Normally I would have used twine to put back up there, and I just decided to use the lace, and I loved it. I love the way it turned out. So make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what you think about the lace. But once I did that, I was done, and this is how it turned out. And again, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Now don't pay attention to where it's hanging there. I just hung it up so I could show you what it looked like. But look at the distressing that coffee makes, y'all. I mean, it just looks so old and so dingy. And I don't know why we think old and dingy looks good now, but it does. And I love it. And it works for me. And like I said, now I've designed my whole bathroom remodel out of this style. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And now I'm going to show you the whole collection that I made together this week all at one time. And y'all, look. I mean, wouldn't that just make you want to go redo your whole bathroom? My poor husband don't have a chance. But he's such a trooper, and he does pretty much anything I ask him to do. So this is how it all turned out, and I'm going to hush now for just a second and let you look at it. Hard bass. If you're still here, thank you for staying. I've got a really important announcement about my channel. I will be having open heart surgery next week on the 17th. So normally, I always answer your comments right away, or I try to anyway. And after the 17th, it may take me a little bit to get back to you to answer your comments. Now, I have pre-scheduled several videos between now and around the 22nd or 23rd. So there will be plenty of content coming out because I've got my regular Monday videos and I've got 3 different challenges scheduled in between then. So definitely come back. Now, I'll have content here. I just won't be here to answer your messages. So I will put a reminder in every video about my surgery in case you miss one of the videos and did not catch the fact that that's what's going on and that's why I'm not answering your comments. So make sure you leave me a comment below. Definitely say a prayer for me and come back. You know I love y'all. I'll see you soon, and I will be answering your comments just as soon as I can. Bye now.